Yes, hi, my name is Bernard Brault. I'm with OTN Systems, and if you've been following this video series that I'm doing, basically what we've done so far is we had a network that looks like this, and basically what we did is we added a certain number of tunnels, and these tunnels are used to actually connect services. The service is what's carrying your traffic, and the traffic connects to a port on the extran, and then these ports go over different tunnels that we can visualize here. So for example, the ring or ring 5 and so on. So what we've done so far is add tunnels and services to an existing network. Now let's say that we have a different task, and the task is to add 7 nodes in a horseshoe way connected to node 1050 here and 1070, and it would sort of move up here and have like along this path here something like 6 additional nodes. So a couple of ways we could do this is by purchasing the nodes, connecting them, and the discovery process, and there's a tool for that, discovery right here, would discover these nodes and import the hardware and so on, and then from there you could build services on top of the discovered nodes and the links. However, it might be interesting to do it up front, and the way to do it up front could be to go to the network hardware tab, and there basically add nodes and links and so on. And that's for one node it makes a lot of sense because you just add a device. You go right here and it tells you what kind of shelf do you want, and then you select the let's say a 19-inch, you give it a node number and so on, and then you populate the shelf with the modules that you need. But if you need to do this in a repetitive way, this is what I'm going to show you here, is the power of scripting. This is a network, and let's go into take a look at the script that I just built and created. So the script right here, you see in one line you can create a node, and the second line here creates a module inside the node. So this particular set of sequence here will create a node along with these modules inside, and these modules are basically the DC power supply, AC power supply, a couple of 1 gig cards, a 4T1, a central switching fabric, a couple of 10 gig ports, and so on. And it's just a for loop, and we're going to do this for a certain number in a certain range, and that range is going to be dependent on the number of nodes we want to create in this ring. Alright, so let's run this script and see what it does. Alright, run in Python Interactive. It says, alright, number of nodes in ring 7, so it's going to be ring 71 in the 7100 range. So let's say we're going to create 7 nodes. Alright, so then the script is going to run, and you see create node 1, node 2, third, a fourth node, a fifth node, and so on. It's going to create the 7 nodes, and finally here's creating all the links to interconnect this. Alright, so we're done with the script. Let's close this, and so it takes care of working on importing these additional nodes, and as you can see here, they're all sort of like bundled right here. So obviously they're not in the right spot, they don't know where they belong, and that's why we have a tool for layout. So if I go inside the layout tool, right, I see that these nodes, let me remove the grid, nodes now have taken this shape right here. So obviously they're not in the right spot, and what I'm going to do is move them up in this area right there. And there we have it. So I'm just going to pause here, and I'm going to lay out the nodes by simply selecting them and laying them out one by one in some nice fashion, something that makes a little more sense for what I'm doing, and I'll come back to you. Okay, so I'm back, and as you can see, I just laid them out in like a box fashion. And what I want to do next is instead of having this link right there, I want to delete this link, and I actually want the link to be connected to 1050 here at the 10 gig level here, and 1070 is going to connect to 7740 right there, and delete this link right here. So how do I do this? I do this through the network hardware tab. So I go in the link, and it'll bring back the network. And this time around, in the link section, I'm going to select this link and delete it. And as I mentioned, I want to add a link between there and 1050 at the 10 gig level. So you notice that I do have a 10 gig port available there, and that's the second port here. But if I go to 1050, I don't have any available ports. That's because I have two 10 gig cards, and they're both used, as you can see, on both sides there. So one of the things I need to do there is add some cards. So those were nodes 1050 and 1070. So let's go to network hardware, and 1050 and 1070, let's go and edit these nodes. Oh, sorry, 1050, 1070. There you go. I could send somebody out to these nodes and insert a 10 gig module, and this is node 1050. And but you know, instead of doing that, why don't I just add the card here? I'm going to get an alarm until the card gets actually inserted. So I'm adding a third 10 gig module here. Close this, and at 1070 we're going to add again the same thing, a third 10 gig module. And by the way, you have up to 4 10 gig modules that you could put on the current version of Extran. Okay, so back into the link. Now if I look at the 10 gig, I see that I have available port right there, connected to the third one that we just added right here, and same thing there to the third card that we just recently added. And we're done here, except for maybe the layout. Let's take a look at the layout, and no, I like it, so that's fine. Take a look here. So we added the subring here, 7740, and I showed you a little bit of a trick with the scripting, adding all of these nodes automatically, importing that through a script, and then editing that ring, deleting a link, adding a couple of links and a couple of modules to make it happen. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you very much for watching.